So how are you living, Nina?
Yo, man, I'm living. I'm living. I just had a little catch up with my friend Nick Goliath, and we were just touching base about stand up and life and exactly asking each other the same question like, what's going on with you? And if you hear noises in the background, my cats have decided to join me in my room, and this cat is deaf, so she doesn't have voice modulation. So it's very funny. Sometimes she's like meow, and other times she's like meow. It's so fun.
That'd be very welcomed. I can't have cats in my flat, so I'm just like I'm waiting until I can.
Yeah, I'm not allowed either, but I've got a doctor's note. They're like my emotional support animals. And what's so funny is I was reading somewhere that, when you have an animal, their attachment style is like reflective of the attachment style that you look for in a partner. And I have a deaf cat. So, I mean, that says a lot about me. And I'm like, why do I like men that ignore me? Well, here we go.
Yeah, I,
This is
I used to have a I literally used to have a feral cat that's like I brought up from a kitten who, yeah, was quite violent and never around, so
yeah.
didn't like to be touched. So I'm starting to figure this out a little bit. But
Yeah.
anyway, as you're
It
saying,
speaks
you've been catching up
volumes.
with Nick.
Sorry, I'm the tangent queen. I have severe ADHD, and I think that's also
Same.
like a big thing about my life is that managing everything that I do and managing my ADHD, it requires it's a full-time job just trying to keep my life tamed. Another friend of mine said to me, she's like, watching you get this show together is like watching someone try to ride a bull, except you're the bull and you're the rider and you're the guy that says toro and the flag. Like I'm everything, But what I do for myself, in spite of myself, I put so many like layers of accountability and people of accountability around me that I'm forced to do the thing, because if I don't do that, I can go down another wormhole. And now I'm learning Korean and I want to live in Seoul. And then it's like, no, actually, I want to travel Africa and develop a mental health app. And then so I need very clear goals and I need very strict accountability and I need a big vision. And I was missing my vision for a bit, I have a very clear 20-year plan and I was like on track. And then I just stopped going.
20-year plan.
Yeah. But I
That
stopped.
is that's a bit much.
Is it? Is it? Is it? Because I feel like if I don't do that, then I make strange decisions. So I need to go, okay, but then it's broken up, so it's 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, So I've got all these like different little things, So like Nina Hastie Q4 at the moment is I had certain goals that I needed to hit because I wasn't following my fucking plan and I was all over the show and I felt so lost the last 18 months. Like, who am I? What am I? What is hand? What is hand?
I mean, that
Um,
is kind of the post-pandemic vibe, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Post pandemic and depression, and a lot of people sort of just like immigrating and just being and load shedding and all of these sort of things and the fear of the economy collapsing and what the fuck am I doing? I don't have a degree. Like what the fuck? I don't have a body of work to say this is what I did. I've just been on this roller coaster as like a casualty of like pseudo success in South Africa that's just been like put on this wave and I don't have like autonomy. And I'm like, yes, take your fucking narrative back, but first figure out what it is. So go back to your plan and like, what do you want to do? What are you? And then, because I enjoy business, I've been doing a lot of creative directing, writing, producing, things like that. But I'm not as strong in those areas. And then I stopped doing stand up for a while, but then I was like weak in these areas, and I need the professional validation of going, okay, well, you're actually very good at this thing. So I was just in a lot of spaces where I wasn't enjoying the positive reinforcement of my own fucking existence, professionally or emotionally or otherwise. So you've got to kind of, it's like a comedy set. You still got to do some of the old bits while you're working the new bits.
Like that's honestly all like relatable, except I don't have that structure, and I think I'm starting to realize why like sometimes things go off the rails a bit. Like and also
It'll
don't have
help you
those
so
accountability
much.
buddies. So you've got people around you who, like you're saying, like you're responsible for or responsible to. So is that like basically just like having other projects with other people kind of thing, and then just making sure like you've got deadlines and everything like that.
Yeah, like partners, okay, cool. This is my business partner on this comedy event. This is my videographer on the comedy event. This is the club owner on that side for the comedy event. Or this is my writing partner on the show. This is someone I'm going to rehearse with. And then also learning from people. I have this like remnant guilt stuff that I didn't work through with my step work with my recovery work. So obviously not obviously, I am in recovery. I'm 11 years clean and sober, and
We're gonna get into it.
so in part of that work, you are required to make amends about stuff, and a lot of it is like can be financial amends, emotional amends. And I was in a lot of codependent friendships, like, can I live on your couch? Can I do this? Whatever. And I never quite made those amends correctly. And as a result, I've been carrying around this I owe everybody something. Right. So I've always like after that, I've had a lot of people like stay on my couch or I'm going to help you and then actually just like transfer or project this I need to give back to the world when I hadn't quite given to myself completely yet.
And also, I guess with that, you could sometimes be enabling that same behavior in other people.
It's just the same thing. It's exactly that. You hit the nail on the head. It's just a different version of codependence. There's just a different power dynamic, And like, it's so boring. I get
I
so
mean,
sick of myself. I irritate myself.
I mean, don't we all? Like, I think that's why. Like, I think every comedian does have that. Like, I don't know. Like, there's both that deep self-loathing and that like absolute like love of yourself. That duality, I guess, that like drives us. Well, at least for me.
I forgot what your voice sounded like. So it's nice to hear. So because I had this like very vague memory of you.
Yeah, because we've only like met like once or twice, I think, at the Winston, and I think maybe once in Joburg. I can't really remember.
Yeah, I thought you hated me, so I'm so glad that you reached out. So, and I'm sorry if I ever did anything to make you hate me.
Oh no, like I might have just been like I talk a lot of shit, so maybe I don't know. Like when I was younger, you might have heard something that I'd said offhand. I don't know,
Okay,
but
well, I mean, here's our opportunity. I'm sorry if you hated me, and I'm sorry if I said something that or did something that
oh
hurt
no,
you
like
in any
I
way.
don't think you've ever like hurt me or done anything like that. I just had like my own issues with, people who are more successful than me. Like that's it.
I had the same shit. I had the same shit. Resentments against Trevor and David Kibuka and fucking all those people, that grew. And then when I realized, oh, I just am not on the level and I actually don't know what it takes. Oh shit, okay, it's a whole other thing. And then you land up realizing, oh shit, actually, I should have maybe listened to what those people had to say, but I wasn't even ready for the shit that they needed to teach me yet, And then you get there and then you're like, you know what? Actually, I don't need their approval. I don't need anyone's approval, but sometimes people will have guidance and it's just nice to not be alone on your journey because this is the stuff that we do. There's no fucking textbook to it, right? That's why all these like motivational podcasts and TED Talks and shit for the creative arts exist because we're all just trying to navigate this uncharted territory in new media, in you know like different artistic expressions. The world is changing, political concepts are changing. So we're in a new media with new ideas and we're growing up in that space and we're fucking up and we're saying things and everybody's watching us while we're doing it. It's like masturbating in front of your friends. It's so fucking weird. Or unless you're into that, in which case it's totally normal. Um, but what I'm saying is, we're all on display, and we're getting feedback live, and it's hard, because
You fuck up live, and yeah, that's also the thing now. It's like you don't really get taken aside anymore and like told like politely, like, hey, like maybe don't say that or whatever. Like it's just the entire comment section. There's thousands of people you've never even heard of before, like busy calling you a cunt. So Yeah, it's a very
People
different
feel
space.
entitled. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me, bro? Like, but I was also entitled, and that's what we're getting back to. Like, I also thought that I had it's easy to look at something, like when you're watching gymnastics at the Olympics or fucking figure skating, and I'm like, she missed her first step. Who the fuck am I? You know?
No, 100%. Although I do appreciate like criticism and like if it's well considered and stuff like that. But that is little. There's a little bit of that these days. But I relate to a lot like on that whole thing because I mean Robbie and I like have had conversations when he's been back in Durban and that, and like I treated him straight. Like there was a time where I was jealous of you, dude. Like, but the reality is he's just put in so much more fucking work than anyone. Like that's the reality. The dude like performs more than anyone. So of
And
course
it
he's going to be
requires
at that level.
sacrifice. You're
So
not
much.
seeing the sacrifice. You're not seeing that it's really hard for him to stay in places he doesn't want to stay in. And, you know,
Yeah, all the Airbnbs, all the hotels, all the yeah.
exactly, not have his favorite clothes with him, whatever.
No, I mean, yeah, it's a lot to go through that, and that's the thing. Like, I have a pretty comfortable life. Like, I've chosen a comfortable life intentionally. So that's also it. It's like I've got to look at myself within all these things, and that's like what I've done over the last few years, and especially through this podcast and chatting to people and like just seeing like everyone was just trying to fucking figure it out, and like the resentments you might have towards other people based on their success is just your own insecurities at the end of the day. And the only way to get over that is to get better. Like that's it. Just
Exactly.
like the whole don't be bitter, be better. I've always been like, why not both? But
Look, whatever drives you, but I've realized, I mean, I literally was dealing with this last night. I did a little fucking full moon witchy routine and wrote a bunch of shit that hurt me down and people that I was comparing myself to and clients that didn't appreciate me and people that friends industry, like I just wrote a whole bunch of stuff and I just fucking burnt it in the full moon and I was like, I'm sick of making myself small because of whatever the fuck reason and then reinforcing that constantly. Like, why do I keep thinking that I'm not good enough? Why, like, when is it going to be the point where I can stand on my feet and go, you know what, I don't feel guilty for my success. I don't feel guilty for wanting to be in a relationship that sees me or being with someone that's as smart and intelligent and hot as me. I only got hot late. I want to fucking enjoy being hot. I'm too hot not to be seen naked, man. Come on, this is bullshit. What is this?
oh fuck. I mean, I like because I'm in a relationship. I'm like in that like period where I'm not feeling my hottest. Like we've been getting too many Uber Eats, and I'm just like, yo, I got to get back on track with that. But that's my own personal issues that I'm trying to work through on stage, which is also a new thing. And you're also working at a whole new show. What's it about this time?
So I'm finally like I've done one woman shows before, but I've never really taken them on the road. So and I've never filmed them. So I feel like my whole career is a lie and a farce. I'm not like, here's my body of work. Like, where is it? So this is very deliberate. The show's called Obsessed. I'll probably start the tour in the new year. The bones of it are finished now. I know exactly what it's about. It's about ADHD. It's about like navigating my brain and the tangents I go off on and the personalities that I've developed within those tangents and what that looks like. And, just fighting with myself, my brain versus my body, myself versus the South African entertainment industry, the South African public, all the mental health shit that goes along with being neurodivergent and the misconceptions of neurodivergence and problematic behavior, reaction to wokeism, South African politics versus American politics, and how as a country we've got low self-esteem. So it like touches on all of these things, and it's like, and also we've got so many cultures and so many ways of like doing things. And in my neurodivergence, I've gone down different wormholes where I've explored each one of these things. Now I'm dating a Zulu guy. Now I'm dating an Afrikaans guy. Now I'm my best friend is a female Afrikaans rock singer. Not, like whatever. Like there's just so many chapters to my life that have had different haircuts, different clothing, different accents, different.
I was literally gonna bring that up. Like all of that
Exactly.
basically. You've like yeah, have reinvented yourself quite a lot. But I don't even know if it's reinvention so much as just like yeah, constantly like I don't know, you more than anyone understand that like yeah, you gotta look different constantly, for the camera. Like you do
I mean,
understand.
it was never an intentional thing. It's just that I keep getting obsessed with different shit. And so then that becomes
Fair
my
enough.
influence, and I'm like, I really like South Korean fashion and South Korean makeup trends. Or I'm very into fucking, yeah, I get into stuff. Or I'm into like hip hop from Detroit. Or now I'm into drill rap from London. Or now,
No, I'm the
like
same way,
music.
trust me.
Is it? I mean, it's so cool. Also, there's so much cool shit in the world, and there's so many cool people, and we all live online, and we can all learn from each other. And people are interesting, man. I'm obsessed with how same people or different people from all around the world at the same time can come up with the same concept, but through different impetus and inputs. Even on the dark side of shit, like South Africa and South Korea have the highest suicide rates with completely different socio-political setups. So they have an honor-based society. So a lot of like suicide comes from shame. Whereas in South Africa, there's fuck all shame, but a lot of abandonment, you know? So, and then also serious patriarchy and also a lot of conservatism. So, and also on that side, they have a lot of conservatism. So there's this constant fight between like modern thinking, conservatism, Western religion, all all fighting against like a deep rooted matriarchal culture, which should actually exist. And then Confucianism on the Korean side. It's just really interesting, like cross sections of different thinking and how, we're getting so many mixed messages that people often also hide behind that shit. Like, oh, it's my culture, No, you're just a fucking cheat. Shut up.
Oh man, it's funny. My girlfriend and I actually have had conversations about this because she's a colored woman from Cape Town, so her experience in Durban have been quite interesting. Basically, like very different expectations from different subsections of men. So I fully get what you're saying there.
Yeah. I also, I mean, that's a whole other conversation of like colored identity in South Africa, and now that like the Tyler bringing that to the world, and now it's a global conversation. How dare we say colored? Like, bro, fuck yes, as Americans
It's
are.
different things in different places. Like it's
Yeah, oh, again, I know I keep bringing up South Korea, but that's my current hyperfixation. So the word, so nega means me, and niga means you. So you can be like, yeah, niga, which means hey, you. Like,
no, I've
what?
seen the videos.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, now everyone's like, no, they can't say that. Fuck off. This language was invented before your language. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Also, I get cross with people thinking that they're stupid, but at the same time, also, I'm like, don't underestimate your audience. But your audience will find you. So I'm finding the people that come to my shows are a bunch of fucking weirdos. Like, it's such a weird cross section of people. The people that follow me will follow all the weird shit I'm into now, and they're a bunch of deviants, misfits, people that like everything from motorsport to pop culture to mental health, and that weird cross section in between, and then also grannies and aunties. So it's like I have such a weird, and also old brown men, like old colored men fucking love me. It is the weirdest shit. Like colored men in their 40s and 50s think I am the bee's knees.
It's like I don't even know where to go with that.
I'm sorry, I don't know either. It's just I wish I could show you my DMs. It's so fun. And lesbians love me as well. I'm like my DMs always like, hey girl. I'm like, hey girl.
I would be so scared of your DMs. I would have someone else handling that shit if I was you.
I stopped opening Facebook ones. Facebook is just revolting. I actually can't. But Instagram at least filters out most of the shit for me.
Okay, fair enough. And I'm assuming this is because like of the fact that you have done so many different things. Like I know you were on trending essay, which like, probably would have had like a big youth audience in that. And then obviously you've done lots of different
No,
comedy stuff.
that was the grannies. The grannies fucking
Was
love
that
that show.
really? I thought it was the youth because of all the tweets and stuff like that.
Well, what I realized is people would watch it as a family. you
Okay.
know? So, and there's a lot of like multi-generational homes in South Africa. So, like the kids would watch it, but the grannies would watch it with them. And it became like a thing where everybody was watching it together. So, a lot of people come up to me. I get different people like, oh my God, my husband loves you. Or, oh my God, my wife said my wife said it's okay if you're on my list. I was like, ew, Brendan, you're not on mine.
That's
Or like, my
so
granny loves you,
fucked up. The things people say, like, I get like weird shit like after gigs just in general, but I know for you it must just be like a different level of creepy. Like I get weird. Like I just get like the weird loner dudes who like clearly would have been school shooters like if they lived in America. And like they come up to me after the show and always like, oh, I got the jokes even if other people didn't. And I'm just like, oh god, there's gonna be one of those conversations. But I know like
Yeah,
yours must
comedy
be
fans are
fucking
sometimes a
weird.
bunch of wankers. I also get a lot of people like, "You're so fat on TV. You're not fat in real life." And I'm like, "Yes, well,
It's
also because
different
the
camera
stylist
lenses.
on Training SA didn't want to put me in clothes that fitted me. I was literally a size 10, and I'm like, I've never been fat. Well, I mean, I was a little bit chubby at some point where I was maybe a size 12, which is a little bit too much for my bone structure. But I was never like a plus size model. And I got like reached out to like, do you want a plus size model? I'm like, I'm a size 12, you fucking fucks. What? Ugh! And like old ladies that have no shame, they're like, "You're so fat. You're so fat on TV. You don't seem fat in real life." Like, well, lady, you look like you've got gout. Fuck off.
No, that's the bane of my fucking existence. Is my gram is just like, oh, you're putting on weight. It's like, I know. Trust me, I know. I have a mirror. Like, fuck. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. Like, we know. You don't need to tell us. We know.
uh, but you, from reading interviews about you and stuff, it seems like you've always wanted to be in entertainment. Like, apparently, you on radio at the age of 13.
Wow, you really did your research. Yeah, I mean, I think I didn't really have a choice. I think my personality, the irony is I'm an introvert, but I'm an introvert that when I talk now, it's time now. Listen, everyone must listen to me. I could also like read and write at a really young age, and I'd read all the. I think by the time I was 9, I had read all the encyclopedias in my parents' house.
You're like a
Um,
little Matilda there.
yeah, proper. I was like a real, just like, I just love knowledge. I love information, which is so funny because I don't have a degree, but I can like I love learning. I'm constantly learning something, I'm constantly
Before we
learning
get
something.
into the radio thing, how come you didn't get a degree? Because I also don't have one.
I ran out of money. Yeah, I ran out of money.
Yeah, that's why I just never did it because kind of the
I
same.
didn't I didn't come from a wealthy family.
Yeah,
That's all. And it's like middle class white South African. I don't really qualify for grants and stuff. And also because I did so well at school for all those years, everyone figured I would get a bursary. But then I lost interest in school in matric after getting like 90s for everything. And I was just like, fuck this. I want to be a rapper. I don't know. Yeah, I think I burnt out also by the time I was like 17. Not having your mental health correctly diagnosed is also it's a disability, and that's what I say to people that, also a lot of people have a lot of judgments about me. And only now, like a friend of mine and I did this like artist retreat. I was in Cape Town for like 6 weeks trying to write this show. And only after she lived with me for a bit did she realize, oh, the ADHD thing is not a quirky thing. It is extremely painful. She sees how I have episodes all the time and how difficult it is for me to function and how much shit I have to do before I can even get to a day. It requires like routine, rigidity, exercise, sleeping well, eating well. And if any of those things are interfered with, it sets me off. I have an episode. I can't breathe. I'm like,
yeah. Like I know for me, like if I don't do like my yoga in the morning and then the journaling and stuff like that, like and then do the one thing leads to the next thing leads to the next thing, and if I don't do that, then I don't do fucking anything. Like it just disappears.
100%. 100%. So some people might need a physical crutch or a wheelchair or a fucking pair of bifocals or whatever the fuck it is. And also because I function so well, Bob, and because I do so well, people think that it's easy. But they don't understand the severity of my particulars. I have severe ADHD and bipolar disorder, etc., as a result of the ADHD not being diagnosed correctly enough. So the severity is not seen by the public because I have now put all these fucking things in place for me to survive. Because if I don't do those things, I will die. Literally, the other side of this is death because it is crippling. When the depression hits, it is crippling. When the rage hits, it is crippling and all consuming. So, like,
So I was gonna say, like, I guess that's also with in terms of addiction and that probably what led you down that path was trying to, solve those issues just by being numb, I assume.
100%. Obviously, self soothing, just trying to fucking figure it out, not knowing. You're like, oh, I did this. It made me feel better. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Sorry, if you can hear my tummy rumbling, I'm sorry. I just ate and this microphone is very sensitive.
Yeah, your mic is not that sensitive, or at least my headphones aren't that good. We'll see on the edits.
Uh,
Okay, so let's get back to the starting radio at a young age. Like,
mhm.
we're always just destined. You're always like you were an introverted extrovert, basically, extroverted.
Yeah. An extroverted introvert who's just also. So, I mean, I was 7 years old when I bought my first, like, bit of gear, tech gear. I bought this, like, tape deck that I could record stuff on, and I would record my own voice to do my spelling homework because my parents worked.
I
So I
stole a
would,
big
like,
box that could do that, so it's fine.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So that was, like, I was always, like, I enjoyed recording my own voice. Like, because I did it out of necessity. I needed to do my homework and there was no one to do my homework with me. So that was like my thing. And then I enjoyed doing that and I would like listen to the radio a lot. And also because I've been an insomniac since I was a kid. So I would have my headphones on at night listening to Barney Simon at like 12 years old, listening to fucking heavy metal until midnight because I just couldn't sleep. I've really always been an insomniac. So I just fell in love with radio, the concept of radio, voice stuff, and I think the neurodivergent trait of wanting to mimic stuff. So I would always like I'd watch cartoons. I fucking love cartoons. I mean, now I'm obviously into anime, and I would love the way that you can mimic things. So I've always been mimicking, and I think that's why I like languages so much.
And then, yeah, what did that lead to from there? Did you do theater and stuff in school?
I did theater at school. So what happened? How I got the radio job is my friend Matt Sutner wanted to be a DJ. And so he asked me to come with him for this audition on this radio show. And then I got the job. So I was like, shit, sorry. And then I brought him on as my DJ. And then my aunt wanted me to go to a modeling agency, acting agency, but I didn't get onto KTV as a actor, but I did voiceovers for KTV. So I just became like a voice artist. So I was like the voice of KTV. Then I was the voice of YFM while I was in high school already. And then, yeah, I just fell in love with the studio stuff. I've been doing voiceovers since 1996. Can you fucking believe it?
Grief. And so that's like been the most consistent thing, basically.
Yeah, and I love it. I mean, you'll be surprised how much shit that you don't know that I am on. Like, what you don't know how many times you've heard my voice in a day, especially if you're in KZN. I do so much stuff
What is?
for East Coast Radio. Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe I can find some of that shit here. Hold on a second. Let me do
say, like,
this.
unless I'm in an Uber, I'm probably not going to be hearing East Coast Radio. To be honest with you.
Yo, 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 what's happening?
This is
Melbourne Park Shopping Centre. Whole family for a day of page for more details. Melbourne Park, bringing you more.
Okay. Like, It sounds like you might have done like some spa stuff as well. Like,
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I do like 4 voiceovers a week. I don't know.
oh, crazy! So it's still like that consistent.
Yeah. Well, actually, the last 3 weeks have been a bit quiet because I was in Cape Town. But for the most part, let me just do this. Please wait. Sorry. Voiceovers. Hang on a second. See if there's something that you'll recognize. No, there's a lot.
Yeah, I got like tired of hearing Skulk's voice on fucking Instagram for a while. Uber Eats.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but the thing is, because I can manipulate my voice in so many different ways, you wouldn't know that it's me. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, it's in the ad. It's literally him going like, "Oh guys."
Yeah. You see, I'm like, okay, here's one I did for Viacom. I think this is a voice for like Spain or something. They're all on my iCloud. As soon as they download, I'll play them for you.
What if we give the power to the creators who always should have had it? And last but not least, what if we pass on the respect to those who follow in our footsteps?
Blah blah blah, boring shit. But yeah, that's basically the vibes.
But I guess it's the kind of work that's the more you do it, the more you get. Like, is it? It's not like really an industry where lots of new people can break into it. Because like it seems like there's about 20 people who do everything in South Africa.
Yeah, you know what it is? Clients spend a lot of fucking money on those studios. They want to know that when they've booked someone, this person can receive a brief and do it properly. Because if they've now got to find someone that has never done this before or has done a little bit, but they're not used to it's hard to break into. But I mean, as I've always said to everyone, you are your own gatekeeper. If there's a gate that you feel is in front of you, build a fucking door. You know, if I had to have lived by gatekeeping, I would never have made it. Every time there's something that stands in my way, I figure a way around it. I just go and create my own thing. And I'm like, you're not going to fucking ignore me. I am a white woman from Pretoria East. For me to have made it in the way that I did required strategy. It required looking at this industry and going, okay, how do I get there? What did that person do? What did that person do? What did that person? None of that's going to work for me. Okay, cool. I'm just going to build a new thing. I'm going to build a brand that transcends my gender, transcends my race, transcends my age. What does my brand represent? I'm a curious and interesting South African. Then I say yes to anything that aligns with that and no to anything that doesn't align with that. And then I build things that are in that world. So yeah, you've just got to think about yourself like a fucking business if you want to be successful.
Like I do struggle with the business thing. I'm all with you on the creating my own shit and like, I do okay. Like I do okay with the business side of things, but not like in the growth aspects of things.
Have you done a SWOT analysis on yourself?
I heard you mention it in the Happiness Economy podcast, and no,
Yeah.
I saw that. What strengths, weaknesses, and then what's
Opportunities and threats. It's my favorite thing. Fucking do it. Don't be afraid of it. Because, yeah, okay, cool. You mustn't compare yourself. Like now, my heart was recently broken, and I'm pretty sure that guy is now seeing someone younger and prettier and more successful in some spheres. So fucking so. She's also going to get bored of him soon. But the point is, when it comes to business, you have to see who the competition is. Okay, cool. What are they doing? So they live there. Cool. What is unique about me that I can offer this industry? What is my unique selling point? I'm Bob Almost Perfect. I've got this perspective. I'm a white dude from Durban dating a colored chick that has ADHD and does yoga. Okay, cool. Well, maybe there's people that need to fucking hear about that story. Okay, cool. How do I position that in the market?
I mean,
Just
I get
constantly.
it, but like the problem for me is also just narrowing shit down because like, yeah,
Oh, you fucking force yourself, bro. Force yourself to do the exercise. Force yourself. Do you know what ChatGPT is my favorite thing? Put into ChatGPT. Hi, ChatGPT. I'm trying to revamp my brand. Can you ask me a bunch of questions that I could answer that would help me do that? Give me 20 questions that I can ask myself that will help
See
me
myself
achieve
as a personal fucking brand. That's the whole thing. I'm just like, this is so fucking antithetical to like how I want to live life, but I also get like how it's a part of the game, and that's like
It is a part of the game. You only grow as far as you're able to see and be honest with yourself.
I'm with you there.
It's like, do you go on diet when you are honest with yourself? Like, listen, fuck, I've got heartburn all day. Cool. How do I solve for that?
No, I get you there. It's just it's a painful process.
Of course it's painful. Of course it's painful. That's why no one does it. That's why success is rare, because this shit is hard. It's so hard. How do I go, fuck, I'm I'm only this person. I can't do what Jason Goliath does. Even my mom is like, listen, Jason's better than you. I'm like, thanks, mom. Skulk is better than you. Thanks, mom. Okay, cool. But what can I do that they can't do? I can look fucking hot in a dress. I can fucking look gorgeous on stage.
I think Skull could look pretty good in the dress.
Yeah, but it's not as pretty as me.
So yeah, then how did you get into from radio and stuff? How did you get into stand-up comedy?
I wanted to be a DJ. My boyfriend was a DJ. And at that time, there wasn't things like digital music, it was vinyls. And vinyls were too expensive, and I wanted to be famous. So I was like, what fame thing has the lowest overheads? Stand up.
Always read about that money.
It's always been about the money. I've actually always been quite savvy. I've been working, and I didn't just do voiceovers when I was a kid. I worked in a hardware store on Sundays from the age of 12. Then when I was like 13, 14, 15, I used to pack bags at Spa after school. Then once I was 16, I started waitressing. So I've always worked.
Yeah, like it sounds familiar to my story because I started scoring temp and bowling birthday parties when I was 12 years old. That was my
Nice.
first job, and then I eventually worked in a camera shop, and then I started waitressing or waitering, and then bartending. Yeah, it's just been from there, snowballing into various other things.
Yeah, you just do whatever the fuck you have to do. At the end of the day, like even now, I mean, Bob, like I took a big risk on a business and it failed recently now in the last 18 months. It was such a financial fuck show. And then I had to like go, okay, Nina, you failed hard, but you didn't lose your house. Okay, that's good. You are still a person. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from a brand. You can just you can just put some foot on the gas with your current brand, and you'll be relevant again in no time. You'll have a piece of work in no time. It's just like constantly monitoring yourself. But this last one was hard. Hey, Bob, it was hard. It was hard. It I felt I really it took its toll on me emotionally. I was depressed. I felt like because everything has been about the money for so long, I felt like, oh, I am now worthless because I made a bad business decision. And then once I separated the business success from my own personal success and what I feel success is, like, okay, cool. Success isn't necessarily happiness. Success is just gratitude, being alive, being healthy, having my family well. That's also success. So just shifting what is important to me around and not putting all my happiness in business has actually freed me up enough to be good at my business again, which is ironic.
I feel like maybe Elon Musk should hear this.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, whoever wants to hear this, I hope they do it, and I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. Like I hope that you get some value out of this. I'm running out of energy. How long are we still going to go with this?
Another 10 minutes or so. I still want to get
No,
into
it's all good.
the like so when you started comedy, it seems like from what I heard on the happiness economy, it seemed like the Goliaths were like quite influential then and quite like helpful.
Those are my friends, yo, man. They had my back in so many levels all the time.
like yeah, apparently they were bringing over furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Nick gave me garden chairs and a TV. We've all helped each other. We've all helped each other. Kate, I speak to almost every day. Jason, when I do see him, because we're both so busy, then we land up. The only time I actually ever see him is when we're working on something together. And I wrote on a show called Celebrity Game Night for like 4 years. I was the scriptwriter behind the scenes, and Jason was like, the host and or the co-host with Anile. And then at least we got to see each other, and we've always kind of just motivated one another. So you've got to just also make sure, because part of your environment and the things that contribute to your sense of self-worth and your sense of achievement and accountability and all of that stuff is not just the place that you live, it's the people around you. If you have people telling you that you're a piece of shit every day, you're going to believe that you're a piece of shit. If you have people around you saying, hey, look, this is what I'm doing, you should try it, and it's drugs, then you're going to be a druggie. Or if those people are doing success and you're like, oh, I should do that too. The people around you are very important. Very important, Bob. You must have the people around you must be good for you, Bob.
Yeah, I've got a joke about it that you are the company you keep, which is why I hang out with nobody.
Lol, that is funny, but maybe you must look at that, Bob. Maybe that's why you're so sad, Bob.
I'm not sad. I'm depressed. It's different. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually
Yes.
pretty good at the moment, but like I definitely do deal with that shit. Like over the last few years, like things have been up and down. But yeah, at the moment, looking forward, things are pretty good. I just feel like Durban's a little bit stagnant, and I'm trying to make things happen, but I'm also just looking to maybe change my environment a bit.
Change your environment, and you know what? I mean, now, like, I went down to Cape Town for 6 weeks to develop this show. I wasn't in a financial position to do that. I now had to get another apartment, pay for transport. It was in Hout Bay, so the Ubers were like fucking 500 Rand a day. It was crazy. Pay for like 2 apartments, my house up here, my house down there. And I was like, and I'm balls deep in debt. And I know that if I didn't do that, my business isn't going to grow. So I was already like in like red zone. But then I'm like, the only way I'm going to get out of this is if I invest into myself again. So now I'm like already in risk. And then I just doubled down. I was like, okay, well, fuck it. All in. And then I just went down and I worked on the show and I did some gigs and whatever. And I thought, well, I'd rather be financially shitting off in a place where I can grow than financially shitting off in a place where I can't grow. So, if you have to stretch yourself a little bit more and it's going to hurt a bit, it's worth it. Let me just tell you something. It's fucking worth it. Don't wait till you're in a financial position to do it, because once you leap, the universe will catch you. Once you leap, you will catch yourself. You have to just fucking expose yourself to it. It'll all fall into place.
I'm with you there, but then also, there's a lot of people sleeping on the streets. So, like they took some chances too that didn't necessarily.
I slept on the streets. This is what I'm saying, dude. I'm a high risk, high reward person, but also, so don't take every page out of my book. I am also a little bit too extreme with this stuff. I skate on the edge. I don't know. It's the only way I know how to be, and it's the only thing that gives me joy. I'm also not going to stop being myself.
And then, I wanted to also just talk to you about recovery and about addiction and what's like, when did this all happen? What happened? And like, how was it like living through that with trying to do comedy, or have you not done comedy yet? Because I know the comedy scene is very much like, it's very
the dope system.
Yeah, cocaine and booze very easily.
Hey man, whatever you do, there's going to be temptations around you. Yes, comedy is like a place where that lives. Yesterday was 11 years clean and sober. Yeah. Thanks. I don't know. I was going to die if I didn't change. So the stakes were so high, like death. Okay, we're at death's door now. So if I didn't change, I was going to die. So It was enough of a motivation to change.
Like, if you don't mind, like talking about like how do you get to that point? Because like I think like with addiction and stuff, there's so many different levels to it. But like I think a lot of people just live with like a casual addiction, but like don't necessarily ever overstep the line.
Yeah, because the stakes aren't high enough for them to want to stop. The stakes aren't high enough. So that's the thing, is the bar, lol, no pun intended, for, or the measurement, the litmus test, whatever the fuck, of like, am I an addict? The question you generally have to ask yourself is my life unmanageable due to this thing? So recently, I haven't been drinking or taking drugs or anything, but I've been getting into very severely toxic relationships that have made my life unmanageable. And then I've had friends intervene and say, listen, Nina, we cannot handle you like this. You're in a state of severe depression and anxiety as a result of you choosing these relationships that are bad for you. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm acting like an addict again. And my life is becoming unmanageable. This is becoming an all-consuming obsession of somebody not loving you and you just constantly going back to this thing, And it's the same thing, but the test, the bar is this making my life unmanageable? If it is making my life unmanageable, I have to address it. If you're managing, fuck man, drink wine.
Yeah, I'm with you there. For me, it's more just like the long-term health aspects of it. Because like I've been living in the nightlife for such a long time that it's just like such a casual part of the culture to just like be drinking and stuff. And like I've always wondered because like I used to in my 20s like go overboard and go like out of hand and stuff. But like in my 30s, it's just this dull thing that's always happening.
I mean, it's exactly that thing that I mentioned. Like, is
I'm not like
it enough?
like am I an addict or anything like that? That's my own like stuff. I'm just like talking about it because like I also know there's a lot of people like in my position who do wonder about like what is the line because it's like never having a drink again. Like it sounds a bit extreme like for some things, but then it's also like, hey man, I've been drinking like every week for like 3 months.
I mean, the thing is, the difference between you and I is I can't stop drinking when I start. And when I start and I end, the end of the movie plays out. I lose everything. I'm homeless. I'm in danger. I'm either in an institution or in jail or I die. So that's my cat scratching its neck. Stop it, Naomi.
It's
Yay.
easy to like just go like, you know what, never again.
Yeah, so it's a never again thing. So, like I say, the stakes have to be high enough. If there's no reason, if the stakes aren't high enough for you, so what's the point? Like if somebody is diabetic, they can't have sugar. There's a difference between I need to lose a few kgs and I'm going to go into a coma.
No, I get you there. But so what you're saying is I need to raise the stakes. I need to start drinking heroin.
That's what I'm saying. Raise the stakes everywhere. I'm saying go balls to the fucking wall. Put yourself in danger and see what happens.
Oh, but cool. Yeah, good to get a bit of insight on that. And then, yeah, how do you manage like just being, in a scene that is?
I do the work. I do the work as outlined in the 12-step program. It requires constant vigilance, journaling, being aware of my character flaws, making amends, constantly being accountable, and handing over and going, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And then when I'm dealing with codependency, the prayer changes. It goes, God grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the person I can, and the wisdom to know that it's me. And it's saying that all the fucking time until I have relief from myself. I have to just literally have faith, because if I had to rely on myself, I'm just going to be in my head the whole fucking time. I need a power greater than myself to survive. And I think the reason I was getting stuck now recently is because I wasn't praying. I wasn't praying to, you can pray to the fucking wall. I don't care who or what you pray to, but I wasn't doing any sort of spiritual exercise. And that, as much as diet and exercise and food and blah, 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 and water, you need some sort of spiritual practice, because if you are the judge, the jury, the convicted, the whatever, where's the balance? You need to hand over. You need to give it away.
I struggle with the whole spirituality aspect of things, even though like I do agree with like a lot of Eastern ideas in some way. Like I get it philosophically, and like fuck, we could talk about this for hours, to be honest. So I don't really want to get into it right now. But I hear what you're saying. Like I like the metaphors when it comes to a lot of spiritual stuff, a lot of religious stuff, and I like how you can apply like these grander ideas into your own life. I just don't necessarily connect on that.
Of course not. There's a book written by a bunch of people in the Middle East 2,000 years ago. Of course it's not going to fucking make sense, and it's been translated 100 different ways. And people are so dogmatic about that. No, but like on the principle level, just try not to hurt other people and try not to hurt yourself.
Love thy neighbor. Like it's literally Jesus' top two fucking his top two commandments. Number two,
yeah, exactly.
love thy neighbor.
Whatever, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Allah, whether whoever the fuck. At the end of the day, like on a basic principle level, try not to hurt yourself and other people, and try and when you are like in that flow. But yeah, man. Anyway, we can go into this thing another day. Like,
Definitely.
you just at the end of the day, we're scared of the concept of religion, but from a spiritual perspective, we're not a fucking lone, bro. Go look at the stars at night. Go look at the moon. Look at a nachi. Look at all those little pieces of a nachi inside the little thing, and then there's like another shell over it, but it's also soft. It's just like life is, we're connected. It's a real thing, Watch a documentary about mushrooms and trees and like root systems and how they communicate.
I can go down that path for hours on end.
Exactly. So that's God. That's spiritual. That's the universe. That's love. That's communication. It's the frequency. That's whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's a connectedness.
I'm with you. Like I fully get that. I just different terminologies for different things, I guess.
Exactly. You don't have to go, Father, help me. Father who? Father Christmas.
Okay, we got one last question, and we can head on out. Ask every guest this, and it is: what is a big mistake that you've learned an important lesson from?
My biggest mistake is realizing that I need to be constantly vigilant. So I lost vigilance, and I thought, I've got this. I am now successful. I have got everything under control. And I forgot to do the basics. Never forget the fucking basics. That's been my biggest mistake in life.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. This has been fun. It's been enlightening, and I appreciate your time.
Has it really? Has it?
Yes. What do you mean?
Okay, I felt a bit. I've been a bit flat. I'm feeling a bit shitty. I was a bit dehydrated today. Again, I forgot the basics of like drinking water and eating food before 1 p.m. So I wasn't feeling too good.
I know,
but I appreciate this. Thank you.
A lot of knowledge. Like, because that's the thing. This is just like you were saying at the beginning. Like the whole thing is, there aren't clear pathways in these things. Like in the media industry, basically. If you want to be a comedian, if you want to be on TV, if you want to be on radio, there's no direct path. And so like I feel like we've shared a lot that people can actually go, hey, maybe I should try that.
Well, I hope somebody gets some value out of it. And listen, thanks for reaching out to me, and good luck with your podcast, and good luck with your journey, and good luck with just Bob, take the fucking risk. Take it. What's the worst that can happen? You fail. And then you fail. So fucking what? You're going to fail anyway, whether you try or not.
Trust me, I know. I'm with you there. It's just, there's a few ducks that need to line up, but it's not necessarily just financial. It's, various things. But we're tying up some things, and then you'll probably see me somewhere else, somewhere soon, if you're listening.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I just don't want to put anything out there, concretely just yet, because I know also like things can take time sometimes.
You know what? Fuck everyone's opinion, bro. Fuck everyone's opinion.
Thank you. Cool.